This will be a review for Love Bullet Yuri Kuma Arashi. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jeff, and today we're going to be exploring this very unique anime.
Just a warning, this is very out there and has some strong sexual themes, so if you're uncomfortable with that,
then we might advise you stick around and see why we actually enjoy this anime. If those two things don't faze you, then we recommend you watch this without listening to anything else we have to say, because it's a show that you get the most out of with knowing as little as possible.
We're going to start off by talking about what we liked.
What comes to mind initially is the unique animation style. If you've seen the show Penguin Drum, this is directed by the same guy. It's also sort of reminiscent of Shaft's style of animation. It's got a powerful foreground with a more shaded and dramatic background, sometimes using CG elements, and it's that animation that really separates this show from other anime that we've seen of late.
We really liked how this show defied our expectation. I went in expecting a nice, lighthearted show where nothing happens about gay bears.
And I went into it kind of spoiled, but that's what drew me in.
But either way, it really sets up this expectation of happiness and then betrays it without ditching that happy tone.
The use of metaphor and symbolism to address modern-day social issues is another powerful point of this show. It initially starts out and you can sort of relate it to, I guess bullying happens in school, but as that goes on, it's more about the human condition and how the human mind works, as well as group mentality.
The phrase, "we hated you from the beginning and loved you from the beginning too," was used throughout the show to drive home the similarities between characters, as well as act as an overarching theme of the entire show.
The bears were cute.
Characters were very consistent, acting on their one motive, but not predictably as we learned the ins and outs of their motives.
The gays were also cute.
This show explores multiple facets of the human psyche, such as the unification of a group through a common enemy, jealousy, a need for belonging, mob mentality, and how each individual within a mob is still human.
It was also very refreshing to see powerful women within this show. Many shows show the plight of manly men overcoming their problems, or that if women are overcoming their problems, it's, at the behest of men or around men, and just to see purely women overcoming a dramatic conflict was exceptionally refreshing, with men sort of restricted to outlying power roles or a source of conflict. The use of sexuality in this show was very positive to see, with same-sex female relations being entirely accepted, while it's implied that there are men in the world that doesn't conflict at all with the legitimacy or the power of these same-sex relations.
This show concludes in a way that wraps up all of the central ideas and themes while leaving the rest of the world up to your imagination on how it turns out, which really is not a bad thing.
And the entire package comes together for hella feels. Now on to some of the flaws we found in the show.
It could be a little confusing or hard to follow at times.
Especially in those earlier episodes, it could leave us a bit confused.
And as it is kind of confusing, I would not recommend it to a newer anime viewer.
But past that, our final gripe is that the CG could sometimes feel a little excessive, and that's really a personal taste thing, as Alex didn't really notice or have an issue with it, whereas there were some scenes that were kind of a little jarring to me.
So, in conclusion, Love Bullet's Yuri Kuma Arashi
is an emotional roller coaster, one that a lot of people can relate to, and certainly one that more people should be watching.
So you should watch Love Bullet, Lesbian Bear Storm.